Welcome to Fieldsports Britain. Coming up, we're at a superb pheasant shoot in Hampshire. We're learning about pheasant cartridges with top shot George Digweed. First, we're going rabbiting with a pack of hounds. We're out on the Quantock Hills of Somerset with almost every dog the masters of this pack can muster. Rabbiting in and out of the gorsy hilltops here is a sport for all ages. Action, when it happens, is fast and furious and hard to capture on camera. Joint master Jeremy Scott-Bolton used to be a master of foxhounds. Being a master of rabbit hounds is no come down for him at all.
No, it's different sport, a lot fast, a lot furious, and it's totally legal.
Tell me all about it. What's the point of it?
Well, my brother and I started off as a pack of mink hounds. Well, mink mongrels we called it, because it's any old dog or hound or terrier would come out. And that was back when we were young children. And it took us 3 years to catch our first mink, but we did eventually. And we've always had lots of dogs that we've hunted with, and then children have sort of started coming out with us, and we basically just get a gathering of us and we all go out and hunt the rabbits.
Now, I thought rabbits lived down holes and Labradors were too big to go down holes.
They do live down holes, but quite a lot of rabbits prefer, if it's dry, to lie out above ground. So we draw the thicker bits of cover, a terrier or a Labrador puts them up, and then we have a chase and hopefully a catch and a kill.
And how quick is your chase?
Normally only a few minutes, but occasionally we've got a whippet which we can slip, and if it breaks for the far side of the field, it better be fast because that whippet will catch it.
Rabbiting like this is a cross between hunting without hounds and shooting without guns. The followers all go beating through the burnt gorse. Purists might say this is a little way away from fox hunting. What's your answer to that?
Well, it's jolly good fun. It's very quick and fast, and you just keep walking around, and it's just a pleasurable day out, really.
And that's all you want?
Yes, exactly, and it's nice to see the dogs enjoying themselves.
And you're not really taking it that seriously, are you?
No, it's just a bit of fun for the children as well. You know, a lot of youngsters come out and they just have a bit of fun and let them get into, seeing what country life's all about, really.
It's a true hunting sport. There is a lot of walking purposefully from one cover to another, and a lot more standing around. Occasionally a terrier yelps, though whether that's because it's found a rabbit or whether a Labrador has stood on it is hard to tell. Can anybody do this? Can anybody set up a pack like yours?
Anyone can. The most important thing is get permission of the landowner. I mean, all the farmers we hunt over are very pleased. I mean, it takes 6 rabbits, I think, to eat as much as 1 sheep. So every 6 rabbits we catch, that's grazing for 1 sheep. So we're doing a lot of good as well.
And 6 is what it's about a day's hunting, is it?
Between about, 6 and 12, yes.
That's lovely. So 1 to 2 sheep per day.
Yeah, exactly. Saved by our rabbit hounds, exactly.
A day's work and a dozen rabbits. It's been hilarious. Now we're off to the Steventon Shoot in Hampshire. They've been shooting pheasants in this part of Hampshire for hundreds of years. Estates like this one, not far from Andover, are set up for it. And now new management is taking it to a new level.
All teams of guns that we've had this year have commented upon the quality of the birds and how friendly everybody is on the shoot, and the fact that it's worked well, been managed well. So they have all commented they would like to come back again, and when you're running a game shoot, if the guns are happy and wish to come back again, then you've got to be doing something right. So I think that's the thing that we appreciate most.
This is the heart of England. Steventon in Hampshire was where Jane Austen lived and wrote Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice. It was once the home of the property developer Charles Church. His gamekeeper left after Charles Church's tragic death in a Spitfire accident in 1989. But now he's back. This is quite different to Portuguese partridge, isn't it?
Yes, totally different, yeah, completely. Yeah.
What sort of terrain have you got here?
It's a typical Hampshire countryside, rolling hills and so forth. But we've gone into It's a new breed of pheasants that have really fly off this land. Has changed the shoot.
They do. They're vertical, aren't they?
Yeah.
Can you reveal what breed they are?
No, it's this top secret one.
and you're rearing them yourself?
Yes, we rear them ourselves. We have a gang farm.
Okay, so you've got superpowered birds.
Yeah.
What do you want the guns walking away from here feeling?
They've had a fantastic sporting day, nothing more. They've all been well looked after and had a fun day. That's it.
Come fine weather or fog, the Steventon Shoot offers excellent birds and a friendly atmosphere. Contact the Shoot for more information. Well, that's enough on a shooting day. Let's see a little bit about shooting cartridges. Here's George Digweed. We're at West Kent Shooting School to talk to multi-world champion clay shot George Digweed about one of his other passions, game shooting. I start by asking George what is his most memorable bird so far this season.
This season so far, there was only one. I did shoot quite a long grouse the other day. It had been flicked a little bit further up the line, otherwise I wouldn't have shot at it. And it sort of quartered across the back of me, and Pigeon Extreme did the job quite a long way behind, and in fact there was one or two people did comment on how far it was. So.
But George is not an advocate of shooting birds at extreme ranges.
There's nothing better. There is nothing better than, you know, seeing a lovely, competent shot pick nice pheasants and kill them cleanly than somebody standing there shooting a lot of cartridges at super extreme pheasants, killing one or two and having 20 plain away and that sort of thing. You know, I'd far rather see a nice 35, 40 yard pheasant killed absolutely stone dead cleanly than I would see a 65 yarder plain away to be picked half a mile away.
If you want to kill birds stone dead and you can put the shot in the right place, then Game Ball's black gold cartridges are George's choice. Once a clay cartridge, now a popular game cartridge among discerning shooters.
It's just won an industry award for best cartridge, so you know, I mean, it's, you know, the industry has obviously looked at it and seen how good it is. I mean, it's a performance cartridge. High performance cartridge. I use it for extreme targets when we're shooting an extreme clay competition, and you know they've launched a game range as well to go alongside the clay range. I mean there was I think there was instances early in its career where people were using the clay load to shoot game with, and you know the results were fantastic, and you know now the black gold range has taken over as probably their biggest seller in game cartridges, alongside the signature range, which is a range of cartridges that, you know, I helped design years ago.
You might think that a cartridge which can produce 1,500 feet per second of muzzle energy would be bruising on the shoulder. Not a bit of it.
Basically in the wad you have a crush zone in the wad which squeezes the wad and reduces the recoil, and exactly the same in the head of the Gordon system. It's got a crush zone in there to help reduce recoil. So the cartridge helps reduce the recoil rather than it going back into the gun. Yeah, and into the shoulder of the shooter.
George knows what he's talking about when it comes to game shooting. He runs his own game shoots in the southeast of England.
Most of the pheasant shoots in the country now are trying to produce, you know, quality birds and get higher and higher pheasants, which is a general trend, and you know, and I try and do that at home. I mean, competition is so great for the people that shoot now, with amongst the people that are running game shooting, that, you know, people can pick and choose. So you want to produce the best birds you can, and to coincide with that, Game Ball have gone to a 35 gram fibre wad. So a lot of places now are insisting you use fibre wad as opposed to plastic wads. So you've got a high performance game cartridge using a fibre wad that will do the business up top. You can get by, let's not fool ourselves, you can get by with anything if you want to get by with anything. But if you're going out spending hard-earned money on a sport that you love and, you know, cherish and respect, then you need to be doing that with something that gives you confidence, and gives you confidence that when you shoot at a bird, you're going to kill it. And you know, the black gold range of cartridges that we've produced up there does give you that confidence. You know, whether you're shooting a 28 gram 6.5 on early season grouse or partridges, or whether you're shooting the 35 gram fibre wad 5 on high pheasants at the end of the season, you know that you've got a cartridge there that will perform to the best of its ability.
It's not just the black gold. Game Boar produces a range of cartridges for game shooters of all kinds.
You've got a 28 gram to start the season with, which you would use, you know, sort of early season grouse, young grouse coming into the butts, you know, in a what the game shooting speak would term as a fairly kind manner. Obviously early season partridges, they're young, they're just learning what everything's about, so you know they're not going to be at their most wily and hardest and that sort of thing. And then, you know, going through the season, as stuff gets wilder and stronger, you know, you can go up to a 30 gram, 32 gram load, and you know, still, you know, shooting 6s and 7s, kill what you need to kill with, and have it. And then as the season goes on, you can progress to a bigger load with a bigger cartridge, and the greater striking energy of a 5, you know, outweighs a 7 later in the season. You know, partridges and grouse you could kill with a 7 all season long, but you know, if you're on the end butt and you've got a downhill wind and the grouse are coming out to you, and you've got to turn and let those grouse go behind you, and you know, not shoot the flank, and so you're shooting a quartering grouse at sort of 45-50 yards. You want as many pellets as you can, and a 7 will kill a grouse. A high pheasant at 50 yards on the curl, a cock pheasant, he's going to want a 5. So you know, you need to look at it, but there's a cartridge there for every eventuality.
Black gold is still as close as you can get to a guaranteed way to shoot game. But don't take Game Boar or even George's word for it. The black gold recently won the shooting industry's top award for a cartridge.
I don't think they would have won it unless they got a cartridge that performed on the market and did what it said. You know, at the end of the day, the feedback that the industry awards take feedback from people that are using the products. And if those people are using the products and getting the results that they want and they require, then they're going to give it a good plaudit.
Since starting Fieldsports Channel, we've been lucky enough to go out with some exceptional stalkers and film some incredible deer. We've chosen the best of the bunch and are releasing our first deer stalking DVD just in time for Christmas. A year of deer, 12 months, 6 species. It's stuffed with great advice and great stories. There's the fallow stalk with the added excitement of an aggressive dog walker throwing abuse as we take out an injured buck. Rugby league legend Kieran Cunningham describes his first red as being better than scoring at Wembley, and he should know. There's also a masterclass in calling in those roebucks and gralloching a Chinese water deer. It amounts to more than an hour and a half of some of the best action in the field, and for just £12.99. In Pigeons the Expert's Way, we talk you through hide building, decoys with Andy Pye, and see how to prepare that huge bag of birds with game chef Mark Gilchrist. Foxing with Robert Bucknell and James Marchington. In this new DVD, Robert gives us a fascinating insight into an animal he's dedicated his life to understanding, enjoying and controlling. From calls to lamps, rifles, shotguns and ammo, an incredible range in mid-Wales where we test ourselves and our equipment, and going out after this most cunning of quarry, it's 90 minutes of tips, techniques and action in daylight and at night for just £19.95, available from our online shop and from www.sportingshooter.co.uk. Well, we're back next week. This has been Fieldsports Britain.